Have you ever noticed one nostril feels more open than the other? Maybe right seems more clearer while the left feels blocked. A few hours later, they switch places. Most people never notice it or simply assume they're getting cold. But what if I told you this isn't random? What if your body has been quietly following an ancient rhythm every single day of your life? For thousands of years, yogis believed that the left nostril carries cooling energy and the right generated heat. It sounded mystical. Now, modern science has uncovered something equally fascinating, a natural biological rhythm called nasal cycle, where airflow alternates between your nostrils throughout the day. Researchers studying 260 patients discovered that people with certain illness showed unusual nasal breathing patterns. Some had one nostril dominating for hours longer than expected. Could your nose be quietly revealing the clues about what's happening inside your body? By the end of this video, you'll discover why one nostril is almost always more open than the other, how your brain secretly controls this process, what ancient yogic wisdom got remarkably right, and why scientists believe that your breathing pattern might one day help to identify your disease. Some of these discoveries might completely change the way you think every breath you take. Hey there, if you're new here, I'm Dr.Devi Sundar, an integrative mind body consultant. Here in my channel, Breathe and Thrive, I bring together respiratory science, neuroscience, mental health, and whole person health to help you breathe better, think better, and live better. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. Most of us think our nose is a pair of holes that carries air from outside and brings into our lungs. But that's only a tiny part of the story. Imagine opening the front door of your home every few seconds, day and night. You wouldn't let dust, insects, freezing winds, or harmful chemicals rush straight inside. Your nose works exactly like an intelligent security system. Every breath entering your body is carefully inspected. It measures temperature, it measures humidity, it filters dust, allergens, and microorganisms. It moistens dry hair and warms cool hair. Before every single breath reaches your lungs, your nose has already communicated that valuable information to your brain. So your nose isn't simply helping you to breathe, it's constantly protecting you. Now, here's where the mystery begins. Take a slow breath through your nose. Now, tell me which nostrils feels more open. Most people discover one side is more open than the other. That isn't congestion, it's your body's hidden biological rhythm, nasal cycle. Throughout the day, one nostril becomes more open compared to the other. Then, after a period of time, they swap roles. This process repeats in the 24 hours over and over again, you without even thinking about it. And scientists call this as an ultradian rhythm because it occurs several times during the 24-hour period. For most healthy people, each cycle lasts between 25 minutes to 4 hours, averaging between 2 and 2.5 hours. So your breathing is quietly changing all day long, even while you're sleeping. And here's where it gets interesting. Have you ever noticed one nostril feeling cooler while the other more warmer? In ancient yogic practices, it is believed that the right nostril detects the heat and the left nostril detects the cold. But the science tells a different story. Both nostrils contain specialized temperature sensors connected to the trigeminal nerve, which is the fifth cranial nerve. Your trigeminal nerve tells the brain how the air feels. As every breath enters your nose, millions of tiny sensory nerve endings immediately analyze it. Is the air cold? Is it warm? Is it too dry? Is it irritating? Could it contain smoke, dust, or harmful chemicals? Specialized receptors in the nasal lining work like a microscopic weather station. When the cool air enters your nose, receptors called TRPM8 are activated, sending signals through the trigeminal nerve to your brain. When the tissue becomes warmer, other receptors known as TRPV channels respond. Within a fraction of a second, your brain receives this information and decides how your body should respond, whether to adjust your breathing, increase your mucus production, or trigger a sneeze response, or protect your airways. What's fascinating is this entire process happens automatically without you ever thinking about it. Here's the important part. Both nostrils contain these remarkable temperature sensors. There's no scientific evidence that the right nostril is designed to only detect the heat and the left nostril only to detect the cold. So why does one nostril feel cold and the other warmer? Because air moving quickly creates a stronger, cooler sensation. When one nostril becomes dominant during the nasal cycle, more air flows through it quickly, stimulating that trigeminal nerve more intensely. And that side feels naturally cooler, fresher, and more open. Meanwhile, the opposite nostril carries less airflow, so it feels warmer or slightly blocked. The different sensations are not because each nostril has different purpose, they are the result of your trigeminal nerve constantly monitoring the airflow while your nasal cycle quietly shifts from one side to the other. So your trigeminal nerve is constantly telling your brain the story of every breath you take. Now who decides when your nostrils will switch? Not you. Deep inside your brain, your autonomic nervous system controls this rhythm automatically. When sympathetic activity increases on one side, the nostrils open. At the same time, the parasympathetic activity causes the opposite side to become slightly congested. Hours later, they exchange the roles. Even though the airflow shifts from one side to the other, your overall breathing stays remarkably stable. Without you realizing it, your brain has been conducting this balancing act every day of your life. Thousands of years before modern physiology existed, yogic practices have described two energetic pathways. The left nostril was linked with ida, associated with calmness and cooling. The right nostril was linked with pingala, associated with energy and warmth. Modern science doesn't support the idea that one nostril physically senses heat and the other senses the cold. However, research does suggest that different breathing patterns can influence stress response, attention, emotional regulation, and autonomic nervous system activity. Ancient observations and modern neuroscience are describing similar experiences but using a very different languages. Now, while I was diving into a deep research of this nasal cycle, I found a fascinating research conducted at the Government Siddha Medical College in Tamil Nadu, India, studied 260 patients with a wide range of medical conditions. Instead of measuring breathing once, they monitored nasal airflow every 20 minutes for 8 hours. Healthy people usually showed a nasal cycle lasting around 2 to 2.5 hours. Many patients didn't. Some experienced prolonged nasal cycle lasting more than 4.5 hours, and others showed one nostril remaining dominant for much longer than expected. The researchers also noticed interesting associations. Many participants with prolonged right nostril dominance had digestive, liver, cardiac, and sleep related conditions. Many with prolonged left nostril dominance had allergies, tuberculosis, and respiratory conditions such as wheezing and asthma. These findings are intriguing, but it's important to understand what they don't mean. The study found association, not the proof that one nostril causes disease or the breathing through one nostril can diagnose illness. Instead, it raises an exciting possibility. Perhaps the changes in the nasal cycle may reflect changes in the autonomic nervous system. Perhaps one day these patterns could contribute to future health assessment. But much more research is needed before it becomes a part of everyday healthcare. Every breath you take is far more than pushing oxygen into your lungs. Your nose is constantly asking you questions. Is this air safe? Is it cold? Is it dry? Does my body need to adjust? Each breath becomes a conversation between your environment, your nervous system, and your brain. The next time you notice one nostril feels more open than the other, don't panic. You're probably witnessing one of the body's remarkable hidden rhythm that's quietly doing exactly what it is designed for. And perhaps in future, understanding the rhythm can even reveal more about our health than we ever imagined. If you enjoy this journey with me into science of breathing, please hit that like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever noticed one nose more open than the other? Until my next video, stay curious, stay healthy.